a hospital immediately. But unfortunately, the hospital, it's not have an ECG. If the ECG it's available, but in the same time, unfortunately, the ECG it's have a cutting wire and need a fixing. Here, our problem is that traditional ECG actually need to fixing all the time. And the problem also here, if the patient using the ECG, that's meaning it's a huge size for the ECG, a device, a traditional device for the ECG, and also a patient, it's short time examination. That's meaning patient will examine the disease, the problem disease for the cardio by the short time. That's meaning we cannot detect the patient disease all the time, 24 hours. And if the patient facing the electrons, I mean the wires, the cutting wires, will be affecting the patient, and the patient may be affecting and causing the shock for the patient because they electric shock. Opportunity here, here the research said every 30 minutes, if the patient delay, will cause the diet or will increasing the diet. Our solution will be the we electrodes. We electrodes will using the 10 electrode linked together, actually placed to the patient chest and the extremities. The benefits here, it's the smallest one and conducting with the patient 24 hours and also the wireless. And this is the main value for our project. This is our project. Also the vision for the 2030. And the we electrodes will using the 10 electrodes with the patient in the chest and the extremities, and that's will increasing the quality of the patient life. And the patient not need to go to the hospital because the disease. And also this is the model. This is our model. As simply as possible, patient will conducting the electrode by his chest, and electrode will link to the sample, and sample will interpretation the signal, and the signal will transferring by the Bluetooth from the sensor to the ECG data. And the ECG data will be interpretation by the ECG filtration and amplification, because when you send the Bluetooth signal will be fluctuation, and you need to interpretation that signal by the ECG filtration, and also will be sending that ECG signal by the Wi-Fi from our ECG data to the hospital system. This is the business model, in detailed business model actually, and this is a briefly simple model, as simply as possible. A first year will be losing the 1 million and will be benefit to us in the second and third year, and also the other years for that. Comparison here for our projects and other the traditional ECG. Actually, our projects, it's benefit for the patient movement. It's also benefit for the patient because the patient will using the Bluetooth rather than the wires and other materials. And also will be saving the patient life-threatening and prevent life-threatening, and conducting the 24 hours for the patient and more accurate. In the future, we'll be using the artificial intelligence actually, and that's meaning the patient will be interpretation that's a signal and disease more early. Thank you.